mic. I'm Stephanie Bombrun, and I'm the Field Development Regional for France and Belgium. And today I'm going to be talking about the color green, which is one of my favorite colors. It's an It Works color, but it's also a personality color. Greens are detailed, greens are analytical, and greens are loyal. How do you identify a green? Well, greens love to know how something works. They want to get to the nitty-gritty. They love to plan, and they're very organized. They are probably the people on your team who have read the comp plan from cover to cover, right? You know some of those?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. They love to learn, so they ask a lot of questions because they're interested in knowing about numbers, facts, percentages, the statistics. That's just how they're wired. So they love reports, probably hanging out in the E-suite, running reports, tracking. Do you know some of those people too? And finally, greens are very loyal. They are the people who've probably been on your team the longest. They don't just jump ship. It takes them a while to think something through and measure up all angles and then make their decision. So your next question was how to coach them?
You coach them,
All
exactly.
right.
How do you work with your greens? We want to know every ingredient in the wrap.
Okay, yeah, exactly, exactly. But before they get to that, the first thing you need to know about greens is you don't need to call them, they're going to call you because they are that organized and on it. Next, they want to know all the ingredients in the wrap and all the other products. So what are you going to do if you don't know all the ingredients? It's okay, you don't need to know everything to do the business, right? But show them where they can find the information. Where can they find it? The website, in the E-suite, in the document library, product sheets, the training academy. Maybe there's even a favorite YouTube channel you follow for training from a Black Diamond or an ambassador. You can send them there and they can find the information for themselves and they're gonna love doing that too. But be aware, don't let them getting caught up in the details and thinking they need to know everything. Don't let them stop them from starting strong, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, next. Well, they are gonna ask you a lot of questions. Don't get annoyed, just smile, okay? Pardon?
Be patient.
Exactly. They're not trying to annoy you. They just love to ask questions. That's how they're wired. They want to know the answers to everything. And they're not trying to make you feel little or like they're smarter than you. No, that's just how they're wired. And greens love, relationships are very important to them. So invite them onto a Zoom, edify your greens, and have them talk about the details. And they're going to add a certain credibility to your training. And finally, if I were you and you were having an event, I'd have your green work at the registration table in the back and take notes, who's coming in, who's going to do the tombola drawing, manage the treasury.
Yep, they love those details, don't
Exactly.
they? That's
There
great.
you go.
I love it. So that's our greens. Analytical, but important to have on your team. And I think it's about 25% of the people are greens. So, Afia, let's move to you. What's your color of choice, Afia?
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Afia Boateng, and I am the field leader for Canada.
You're Canadians.
There's a few. That's awesome.
And French Canadians, I know.
Yes.
C'est ça, bienvenue tout le monde. Alors, I'm going to be talking to you today about the color yellow. Now, yellow is actually a complementary color to green when we talk about personalities. So typically, if you know a green or you are a green, you will find that when you meet a yellow, you actually get along with them very easily, okay? And why is that? So yellows are very thoughtful and caring people. They're the ones on your teams who are going to ask you about your family before they ask you about your auto ship, okay? They are service and cause-oriented. They want to know that what they are doing is bringing meaning to the world, that they are helping others, and that because of their contribution, the world is going to be a better place. They are people pleasers. So, they want to make sure that everyone is happy, and that everyone likes them, and that everyone is comfortable. They're some of the best hosts and hostesses that you're going to meet. And sometimes, when you're looking to identify these people on your teams, you're going to be looking for, typically they can be a bit introverted. They're all about relationships, similar to greens. And, if you were to kind of walk into their home or walk into their office, you'll see they're going to have pictures of their family, of their children. It's going to be filled with the people that they love in their lives. And some of you are smiling because you're thinking, oh man, I've got so many pictures of my kids in my office. Now, when it comes to coaching, the things that you want to be cognizant of is that yellows do not like confrontation. So you want to be sure that when you need to present something to a yellow, is that you separate the behavior from the person. Let them understand that you are not addressing them as a person, you're addressing a particular action or a habit. You want to do this with patience and love. And also edify them within your teams by presenting them to others as your community builders. They want people to be happy, so let them answer the questions in your team pages about whatever has to do with the business. Let them be the ones to lead the Gives Back or Labor of Love initiatives on your team. And also allow them to connect and bring people together, whether it's from within your team or outside of your team. They're really good connectors because, once again, community is everything and tribe is everything to a yellow.
Love it. So there are pleasers. I think 40% of your team roughly has been proven to be yellow. So there we've got 25% on the greens. We've got 40% on the yellows. All right, so Bev, we're going to move to you and down under.
Good day.
Good day.
So I'm the FDR for Australia and New Zealand. So the colour that I'm choosing is red, the loud colour. Okay, so reds are the A-type personality, so very driven, very competitive, very loud, very determined. They really are the high achievers, and they're very, very, very much leaders in this business. So we have a lot of the top people in this industry are reds, racing reds. They are very results oriented. So it's like, get out of my way, show me how to get to the top. And sometimes they can come across very aggressive and unintentionally rude to people, but they're not. They're just very business-like, they're very focused, they just want to get the job done. So in saying that, they don't like detail. We're the opposite to what Steph was talking about. Do not like detail. Reds are like, just tell me what I need to know. No frilly bits, no bits around the outside. Just tell me how it is, how I'm going to get there, how I'm going to win, win, win. Okay, it's all about competitions and just driving through. Does anybody recognise anybody like that on their team? Albert, what's the percentage of reds?
Reds is 10%, so it's few, but they're determined and driven.
Yes,
Few, right?
and very, very impatient. Very, very impatient. So that's where they can appear to be rude to you. So how do I identify them on your team? How do I identify them on your team? Well, they're just interested in the money, in the compensation plan, in all the competitions, any bonuses on the table. These are the reds. Just show them the money. Show them the money. They're very fast and decisive. So very, very quick moving, and obviously no details, but what they do love is they like to mix and talk to the top people in the company. So they want to come and speak to these guys down the front. What did you do? How did you do it? Just questions, because that's where they see themselves in the future. They see themselves at the top, and that's how they see themselves. How to coach them? Good luck.
Just get out of their way.
Okay, so just straight to the point, very direct, no frilly stuff, like I said. Just give them, they're impatient, so show them how to get paid very quickly. Very quickly, show them fast start bonuses, how to rank up, how to get this ruby, that emerald, get to diamonds, blah, 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 blah. They just want that information. And of course, all the competitions and promotions, run those kind of things in your team. They'll be the first ones to get it. And they're really great presenters to have in your team as well, because they're very excited if they're shown the opportunity. They're the great people in your team to get up and show the opportunity, because they see the big picture. They're very excited. They bring a lot of energy. And of course, just on the last bit, the final bit about AFIA, if you walk into a Red's office, will you see pictures of their family? No, pictures of themselves getting certificates. and trophies and awards, and all their awards will be around the office as well. So that is a red.
That's a red, I love it. Well, we've got one color left. So Nuno, let's take it away with blue.
Okay. Thank you, Albert. Last to speak, but the best color, definitely. Blue. My name is Nuno Vicente, and I'm the FDR for a bunch of markets. I will spend all my time telling them, but Norway, where are you? Hello, Norway. Denmark, UK, Spain, playing at home, and Netherlands too. So, Germany, I'm not, but I can say Germany. Okay, so let's talk about blues. And blues are the typical people. They are all about being, you know, in touch, in contact with other people. It's all about being social and sociable. That's everything for a blue. They get the best out of themselves when they are surrounded by people. They are highly talkative. They are very extroverted. And usually when they are surrounded by people, they are the ones that always take over the conversation. Usually they have a great sense of humor, so and they can be magnetic in some cases. And a true blue is always looking for a great party, like tomorrow night. Who's looking forward for the party? I have a few blues here. Okay, so blues are highly interactive. They constantly get focused on people, on teams. They produce more when they are not alone. Never leave a blue working alone. They need to feel surrounded, as I said. However, there are a few little issues with the blues. First of all, a blue hates routine. Don't ask them to do repetitive tasks, to keep doing always that little things, those little details, because for a blue, that's nothing attractive, and the blue will switch off very quickly. Also, a blue loves recognition, public recognition. The more you can do if you have blues in your team, make sure that you recognize them all the time, because they love it, you know, and they feel really empowered with that. Also, blues can be a bit draining to people around them, so you know, that kind of people, they talk all the time, they are the center of the attentions, and they just drain everyone around, and other colors, they might feel a little bit, you know, overwhelmed, but that's life. So this is basically the characteristics of a blue. Now, how do you coach a blue? The first thing, you really need to be very friendly on your approach, and you need to stand at the same level, because a blue really doesn't like to feel this difference, because they are relationship people. They need to feel this kind of empathy. So make sure that you are friendly, informal on your approach, and you get at the same level with them. Second, be creative with a blue. Never being repetitive, doing always the same. Example, don't ask a blue to make a 100 list. Ask a blue how many people he can contact and connect with, and then to come back with that people. And he will come back probably with more than 100, okay? So be creative on your details, on your approach. Then, you know, make sure that you usually use group tasks for a blue. Get the blue always involved with other people, in team things, you know, never working alone, as I just said. Keep constant focus, make sure that the blue keeps focused on what the targets are and what they want to achieve. This is very important, because the blue tends really to get a little bit unfocused. And finally, as I just said, recognize constantly that blue when they achieve something. That's absolutely important.
Good, so blues are about 25%. So you can see the variations, right? So we had red is, they're the wins. They want to know all about, you know, how to get to the goals, and those are 10%. You've got the blues, they're the who. They want to know who's going, they're the life of the party, that's 25%. Then you've got the 40% yellows, those are the whys. You know, they want to know why, everything's a why. And then the last is the 25%, you know, how, they want to know the details of everything. So the importance of this is to begin to understand your personality, because first you need to understand how am I wired, and then you need to begin to use this to identify others and what their personalities are, so you can better coach and lead those on your team. So if you haven't opened your booklet to this page, you've got it all right there. You've got the colors, and the colors are important to then go into what we call the 5 fundamentals. So, you know, we talk about the fundamentals of building your business, And to be able to do that, you've kind of got to understand the personalities and how those work. So, you know, in the fundamentals, we'll start with, we've got 5 of them, so there are 5 of us. So Stephanie, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about the first fundamental and how a distributor can use it to build a business.
Okay, so the first fundamental, please turn on my mic, is building your list. Why is it important to build your list and you don't miss anyone, and so you can share the opportunity with everyone, right? Keep a master list, keep adding to this list every day. This is gold that you're holding in your hands, because you will hit a dry spell in your business, right? And then this list is going to come in very handy. If you think you just have made a list in your head and you called 10 people, 15 people, that's not a list, and that's very dangerous to think that way. So how do you build your list? Very easy. Get a pen and a piece of paper, okay? All there is to it. And then you just have to keep this in mind. Don't prejudge anyone. I made that mistake when I was in the field. I thought the people who would come and buy the most were the ones with the big diamonds and big designer bags. They were the ones that spent the least. And then the people who came looking the opposite were the ones who spent the most. And I learned very quickly, don't judge anyone, because anyone's open to buy or the opportunity. So how do you build your list? Here are a few memory joggers. Go through all of your Facebook, your LinkedIn, Via Deo in France, your Twitter, your Snapchat, your Instagram, old business cards, former colleagues, extended family, close family, friends, neighbors. Who are your service providers, ladies? Who do your lashes? Your nails, your mani and pedis, your doctor, dentist, things like that. That's how you build your list.
Love it. All right, so now I've got an idea when I get started on how to begin to have this source of people that I'm going to connect with, because that gives me the vision of how big my business can become. So the second one on here is contact and invite. So if I stop at my list and I don't move forward, nobody's going to join my business. So now we've got to get into contacting and inviting people. Now we've moved to a very social media driven world. So your contact may be through social media, but I still want to remind you that, you know, we're in a world of relationships, and relationships equal retention. We could have done this whole green carpet by Zoom, right? You could have been at home. But there's nothing like the power of being together in this room and having human relationships. So as you think about contact and you think about inviting people, try to connect and bring them to a local coffee shop where you can meet with them. Try to bring them to your home. Try to invite them to an event, the power of events, whether they're a one team, one mission, which we're now calling Try It presentation, whether it's to a mini boot camp. But try to get the opportunity to meet with somebody so that you can develop a relation with them and invite them to something meaningful so that they feel they want to attend. Because from that, you can begin to share the story if it works with them. There's no way they're going to want to move forward with you unless you're able to heart talk about the power of the business, of the products, and the opportunity. And you can use the color by asking questions to figure out, are they red? Are they going to want to know about the comp plan and goals? Or maybe they're going to want more about the affiliation of being part of what we do as a big company. So that's where the colors come in. So third one, share it. So let's talk about how we share the opportunity now with people.
Absolutely, Albert. So, just to piggyback off of what Albert said, all of these fundamentals are so key in actually earning money in this business. So as leaders, sometimes you'll come across distributors who you see are committed. They're working hard. They're putting in the time, and yet they're going nowhere. More than likely, it's because they're lacking one of these fundamentals. And what I find often, Albert, through coaching, is that a lot of people are lacking on the share it part of the fundamentals. And what do I mean by that? Is because we often assume that because we've posted something, that we've shared it with someone. Or that because someone was sitting in a room, at a particular, whether it's online or offline, that we've somehow shared it with someone. So here's a tip. You'll notice on your fundamental sheet, there are 30 circles there, okay? So this is an opportunity for you to track how often are you really sharing it, and follow up also with your team members and have them track to see how often are they truly sharing either the opportunity or a product with people on a daily basis. So there's room there for one person that you're going to share with per day. It's like taking your vitamins, one a day, the power of one. It's going to seriously just really blow away your business. And just like vitamins, they're not going to see it overnight by sharing it with one person. They're going to see it over time. And, and that could mean by messaging people, by phoning people, as in their phone will actually go, that's phoning people. By going to an event, and sharing either the product or the opportunity. So what I want you guys to do is not only, if you can't write down the name of the person that you have shared it with, you haven't shared it. And if you can't say what you shared, whether it's a business or a product, you haven't shared it. So put those two in that circle, and that way you'll be able to track, and you will see at the end of the month that your one a day has turned into real business.
Love it. So we built a list, we contacted, invited them, we shared the opportunity. So now, Bev, we actually have to seal the deal. How do we do that?
Seal the deal. Who loves to follow up? Oh, funny that, all the reds in the room. Okay, if you are not following up, you are so leaving money on the table. Full stop. So there's 3 things I like to just talk about with follow-up, and one of them is the KISS strategy. So do we all know the KISS strategy? K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, sweetie. Oh, I know you say something else. So really, there's 3 things with follow-up. One is a strategy. Do you have a strategy? Do you have a simple strategy, a KISS strategy? So a 2 by 2 by 2 formula. So follow up in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is. And there's going to be some panels this weekend. You're going to get lots of information on the how-tos of this. I'm just outlining it. The other thing is, number 2 is, do you have a system? Do you have a system that you can plug into for following up? It's so important to have a system so that you're consistently every single day. The new app is fantastic. Who loves the new app for follow-ups? If you are not using it, crazy, crazy. 3 hands in the room, guys. Come on. The new app is awesome. So a system is really, really important with that. And then the last thing, the 3rd thing is a script, or I like to say a template. So this is about saving time. So working smarter, not harder. So there's various ways that you will hear about that this weekend over voice messages, videos, etc. So who feels like they're actually hassling people when they do follow-ups? You feel like you are hassling people? Yes? Okay. Well, let me just give you some statistics to just help you very quickly overcome that. 48% of people never follow up with a prospect. That's a lot. That's a high percentage. 10% of people only make 3 or more contacts, 10%. But here's what you need to know. 80% of the sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So that means that you need to speak to somebody between 5 and 12 times before they say yes to you. So does that make a little bit of a difference to you? When I started in this industry, somebody told me this, and I wrote it down, I took it home, it was on my board for a long time, and it is in my mind. Fortune favours the brave. Get brave, get some grit, do what you need to do to get the energy to phone these people and follow up so that you are not leaving the money on the table. Once you bring them on board, then we're looking after them, we're getting them started, we're supporting them with their goals, so ask lots of questions and make sure that we keep it appropriate to their personality types. That's how you're going to support them, and that's how you're going to make sure that you support them in the right way.
Love it, Bev. So we've got a fortunate group and a brave group. So let's wrap it up with duplication.
Duplication, that's correct. Okay, duplication probably is the most important word and concept that you will ever listen in this industry, network marketing. I can't stress how much important that is for your business. Duplication is all about how you're going to accelerate your growth, to accelerate on and to get on exponential growth in your business so you can achieve everything you are dreaming about, everything that you are aiming for. But what is duplication about? You know, I would start by saying that is almost by cloning yourselves. Not in terms of personality, of course, we just discussed different types of personalities, but cloning in all the rest, like your will to achieve something, your desire to get there and to run that extra mile, your ambitions, your vision, your hunger for achievements, you know. Those are some of the characteristics that you need to look around your people and the people that you recruit until you find the right people to duplicate. Then once you found the person, you need really to have a very powerful training system in place, because that person is too precious to be left on their own or to not be developed as it should. So you really need to train very deeply that person from close, personally, in a way that that person really incorporates everything that you can do and can become an extension from yourself, okay? Once that happens, that's really the moment that you'll start duplicating that business. Now, let me just touch a very important point. I've been in the industry for 14 years, and everywhere I hear this discussion: quantity or quality, you know? Well, quantity drives quality. It's as simple as that. This is a numbers game, right? If you recruit 3 people in a month, very likely that quality won't come up. You won't show up, you know? Maybe you like it, but it's very likely statistically that you won't find that person to duplicate. If you recruit 20, then very likely you will find people that you can use to duplicate your business. So find quantity, train and develop quality. This is absolutely what lies in the base of a good duplication process. And as I said again, training is fundamental. Make sure that you have a strong training process in your team. You know exactly what to do when you recruit a new person and you roll someone. What are the first steps? And then how are you going to transform that person in an extension of yourself and finally duplicate your business? This is absolutely very important.
Very good. Well, so you've gotten now a feel for colors, you've gotten a feel for the fundamentals and how to use those fundamentals to drive your business. And we end on duplication. And for you to duplicate yourselves, nobody better than to bring up leaders from the field that are doing this every day, that have reached the very pinnacle of our compensation plan. So we're going to leave this stage, and Stephanie, we're going to leave you to bring up